and I thought I'd do a quick itty bitty live. I am slicing this vegan ham. It's huge, like huge. I just made it. Let me weigh it so we can see how much it weighs. Got a scale here. Let's get that on. And all right, I'm gonna weigh in ounces and see how much it weighs. Okay, that is 63.2 ounces, and I've already cut some off of it. In grams, that's 1,800 grams, basically, roughly. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just keep slicing. Not really particularly special video, but I'm in the kitchen and I did this one today, so I figured I'd show you just some food porn. Delicious vegan ham. And there's some really juicy bits where that membrane that I make really intermingled nicely. Let's see if I can hold it from the side a bit. This would be lovely within a sandwich. I've got some delicious sourdough bread. So I'll see if I can put together a sandwich afterwards. But nothing special, just wanted to show you how beautiful it looks. It smells amazing. And this bit here, where you can see like there's a bit of the gel and stuff in there. The gap is here because I was a little bit impatient. I should have finished rolling it and then just left it longer to kind of set, but I didn't do that. But that's okay. Imperfections are fine. And I have been getting a lot more people on my comments, particularly interestingly, non-vegans, who keep asking me, why do vegans want something that looks like meat when you don't even eat meat? And it's like, why are you so pressed? Why does it trouble you? This is by far the most popular thing on my channel, and my husband really loves it. This ham, I love how it tears apart. It is soft like ham, but has the chew that you'd be looking for. Look at that. Oh man. And it smells incredible. So smoky, so delicious. I'll see if I can show you this little bit here. Look at that. All of that is like that starchy membrane that I make. That's what makes that lovely gooey jelly fatty type thing. And then it's got coconut oil as well. How you doing today, y'all? Are you in the kitchen? Are you making breakfast? You having a good day? Are you staying delicious? Trying to make sure you've got a good view. And here's the bread that I'm going to cut afterwards. Let me give you a good view of it. So this will be a ham sandwich. sourdough bread. I do buy this. It's inexpensive, considering how great it is. It's got loads of grains, seeds, and stuff, and it's really tasty. And it's just, I don't have the time to make bread at the moment, so let's get a little slice of this going on, and then I'll continue cutting up the ham afterwards. Hopefully the view is okay. Ready? How thick do you like your bread? Making this delicious vegan ham sandwich. You can put some butter on that. You could put some mayo or whatever you like. I'm being hunted by a mosquito. All right, here we go. Let's look at some of these nice chunky pieces of ham that I've already cut. I'm cutting from this, which is a huge piece of ham that I've made. And it was almost 2 kilos, that one piece. This lasts for ages. I've actually got 4 in the fridge. Look at that, beautiful slices. Oh, let's get some of that on here. Oh, this looks good, huh? I like all the pieces. The other thing I want to do is get it like a get into a square shape, so it would be like bacon, and then I can slice it like bacon slices. So what would you put on top of this if this was your sandwich? Have some butter, the ham itself. I want to slice some more of this, because what I do is after making it, I slice it up and then put it into a container. And then it's right there when I need it. Just gonna get my container now. Have my Tupperware. Just a piece of greaseproof paper in the bottom. And what I'll do is just keep that in the fridge as deli slices. How's this view for you guys? Can you see well? I can't see any comments yet. Although knowing me, I may not be able to see them for some reason. I'm going to get my tripod so that you can see with a better view. I'm back. I think this will be easier for you to see everything. All right. So this is the cheesecloth that it was wrapped in earlier on. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get this here. All right. Looking a little untidy, but That's okay. All right, let's go for it. I'm going to be showing you some more slicing. This is the starting of a really nice ham sandwich. I'm just going to get these slices. Have a look here. These lovely slices. I know that it seems a lot of work to make the ham, but as a person who is extremely time poor, which is sometimes why it takes me so long to do my edits for the channel. Like I've got the beef video that a lot of you been asking me to share that. I have recorded it. I've got it in my editing suite, and I've just been trying to put out some of the quicker videos first, like the shorter videos to edit, because the beef video has like multiple different layers. Like I'm doing the first part of it, which is actually creating the beef, and that has a couple of parts. And then I also am doing the lasagna that I made with it, and I made a vegan patty with it, which you guys saw already. But this is, for those of you who are just joining, this is the vegan ham, and it is worth the work. But I just want to let you know that this is possible to do when you're lazy as well, or busy. So for this, I sat down in the kitchen and I basically got all the powders together. And this is the stuff for the pink, which isn't wet, none of the wet stuff, but these are all the ingredients for the pink. And then this is all the ingredients for the white. So whenever I need to make another batch, which will be probably in like 2 months, I'm going to just basically get these, and then it's a lot easier for me. All I have to do is add vital wheat gluten, oil, water or stock, whatever you're going to use. And for the pink dye, like the pink coloring, or you can use beet powder. But this is how I make the vegan ham so easily. I just sit down and I'll put 6 containers together, and I'll basically make 3 of each. So that's basically covering me for 3 batches. And then the proportions and ingredients that I gave in my video about how to make the ham, if you look on my channel, it's the first video I ever posted. The game changer ham, those proportions. With the pink one, if you add more water, a little bit more salt you can, but add more water, you'll get a lot more volume. And then you add more of the vital wheat gluten, and you literally have like enough. Like this is 2 kilos of ham after it's been cooked. I have another 3 of these in the fridge, 3 or 4. I'll show you it. Hang on. If you hold on a second, I'll get it and I can show you what I mean. Okie dokie. Here we go. So you can see here, I have the dough, and it's been in my fridge for a few days. So all I did was I did all the mix it all together, and then I just I took some of it out and mixed it with the white, and blended it in the blender with a little bit of oil, and then just wrapped it together, put it in the fridge for like overnight. And then I just made this one. Now this is the rest of the ham dough. You can see it's a lot. It's heavy. It's a lot. This is going to sit in my fridge all week. I'm not touching this again this week. A, because I don't have to. I've already got this, and this is a lot. But B, it's very forgiving, and the longer it sits, the better the gluten development. So it doesn't spoil. And I've got a really good fridge. I keep it sealed. I've got a pretty good fridge, and it will live in the fridge nicely. Up to a week, it'll be fine. But it's already, what day is it now? Tuesday. Probably on the weekend is when I'll have enough time to face it again. But I truly believe when you're making ham or you're making vegan meat, don't worry about how much time it takes. What you need to do is just break it up into manageable. If you only got an hour, get all your powders together, get everything ready so that tomorrow you can mix it all together. And then, like, that's what I did. So this is from me from Saturday. I sat down, I got all of the powders together. Sunday, mixed it together, and it's been in the fridge since Sunday. Yeah. Then on Sunday, I also blended up and got one ready, left that in the refrigerator through until today. Today's Tuesday. And I basically wrapped it up with some, the way I did it in my first video, I do it slightly differently now in that I use cheesecloth, but I use baking paper. I don't use foil anymore. It's not safe to cook foil for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. It's not safe to wrap it in it. So I basically wrap it in the baking paper, and then I wrap it in this, and then I use butcher's twine and wrap it together, and then I then stick it back in the fridge until I've got time to steam it. And then now what I do, for time's sake, is I actually just steam it. So I just leave it in the on the stove and steam it for an hour, then turn it over, steam it for another hour, turn it over, steam it for another hour. Just leave it on a low steam, and it just comes out perfect. Now, this one I haven't bothered to do the glaze. You guys, girls, everybody, you know about my glaze for this, where it becomes a lovely sticky brown crisp on the outside, and then the inside is just lovely. I haven't done that on this one. I didn't have the time, didn't want to, and B, as you can see, it comes out beautifully and doesn't need it anyway. I probably will glaze one or two of them, but I didn't need to. So if you're ready to join me, let me get out my cutting board. I think you'll be able to see it better against the white. So let me go ahead and continue slicing this, and then I'm going to portion it up and put it in the freezer. Part I'm going to put in the freezer. This part I'm going to basically chop up and put in the fridge here, and this will be like, I think this will probably be 2 weeks. For some people it would be like a day, but in the mornings is when I serve this. I'll have this for my hubby. I'll serve him this with some vegan omelette, couple of grilled tomatoes, some sourdough bread. What else goes with it? Plantains for a little sweetness. I'm sure, and mushrooms, grilled mushrooms. So that's what he gets every morning for breakfast. He is happy to have it every morning for breakfast. He really likes the same breakfast every day. So that's what he has. And so that's the reason why it lasts us so long, because he only has it in the morning. He'll have maybe three slices or so in the morning, but these are big. These are much bigger than I would normally do, so he may even be able to get away with a little bit less. But the benefit of this as well is the fact that it is a protein. It's protein. This is jam packed with protein, and so it's definitely giving him a boost. As a vegan, you have to get enough protein in your diet. We don't rely only on the seitan for the protein that we get. I can't eat this as much as I want to because I'm allergic to gluten. However, I've got other things that I eat, but I still enjoy making this, and hubby still eats it, so I can continue making all the different things that include this. I'm going to show you this. Come a little bit close. And the reason it's not like sticking together all of it like that is because the last time I rolled it and just put it in the fridge for a few minutes and then put it on to cook. If you want it to have a really tight texture, then that's fine. If you want to have a tight slice, you just need to leave it in the fridge for a little bit longer. On my initial video on my channel, you can see all the instructions on how to do it. And then I've also produced a Google Doc that explains all of it. I just want to show you these little bits here. It's so nice. I'm sure I'm making you hungry. All right, let's get the rest of this sliced up. And it's been such a pleasure doing this channel and sharing things, doing, you know, my recipes and stuff, because, you know, this is stuff I do in my kitchen all the time. And for my friends and family, they know, you know, I cook very well, but I don't really get to, you know, get the benefit of cooking for people a lot of the time. I don't get to cook for people as much as I should, as much as I would like to. So I mainly just cook for hubby. And once we eat that meal, it's gone, right? Whereas when I record this stuff and share it with you, we've got the chance for you to enjoy it for a long time. The video lives forever. But it has been so lovely to share this stuff with you. I feel really honored that there's like almost 1,000 subscribers on this channel, which is, I can only say, is honestly a hobby channel in a sense. I didn't really expect that to happen. I had started the channel to share my ham recipe after sharing pictures of it. I think pictures or video, I can't remember. It's like a year and a half ago now, a year ago. But I shared it inside of a vegan Facebook group. And people were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Please show us, show us. And luckily I had recorded it. And I'd recorded it for my niece because the cost of living has been so expensive. And I wanted to, I had sent her some Vital Wheat gluten. She used to be a vegan. She eats meat now. But she still, you know, really likes vegan food. And she saw my beef recipe and she was like, oh my gosh, the beef is amazing. How did you do that? And I didn't really have I didn't have a YouTube channel at the time. And so I had put it on like my own individual channel, just, you know, whatever I used to watch YouTube and stuff, just personal channel. I didn't have one. I actually set it up and uploaded it. And then people wanted to see it and I started to share it, but I was like, I don't want that channel to be, you know, I want to keep that channel private, and I know more people are going to subscribe, because I started to get subscribers on the channel where I'm not really doing anything there. You know, it's just for where I watch shorts and bits and bobs. So that's why I set up this channel and shared that video. And to my surprise, it had like 25,000 views on that video, just showing my ham recipe. And ever since then, so many of you have continued to join me on this journey. I have been thinking about some ideas, things that I would love to do, probably needing to get an editor on board. But I've been trying some things out in my spare time, which I am, like I said, I'm pretty time poor, but I have been trying some things out on the channel to allow me to share more and more things and try different styles and stuff. But, you know, one of these days I'll get super fancy with it. But for now, I am just showing you the real of being a home cook. This one was a bit beefy. Look at that. Big, thick slice of vegan. Do you know what I love most about my recipe here? Is the fact that you can make this and have it at home. You know, you don't have to buy it at the store. Look at that. That is how normal ham behaves. Because of the starchy membrane that I make. Look at that. I think it's incredible. I make it and I still think it's incredible. Look at that. So amazing. Nice. Now imagine that at Christmas time or Thanksgiving. Beautiful Thanksgiving ham. Glaze it, put some cloves in, get that beautiful ham smell. That smoky smell, not really ham smell, but like the smoky smell of, and the non-vegans always want to eat my food. I've done like Christmas parties and, serve food for family and stuff. That bit's a little bit harder because it's been open to the elements. That's why that bit's a bit harder. But I think a lot of people like that anyway. But yeah, the ability of having something like this for Christmas or for like Thanksgiving or a special birthday or just any day of the week like we do. Let me see if I'm change. I'm going to take off the. No, that's not better. I just wanted you to see it more in natural lighting, but you need that light. And this white is similar recipe to the pink, but it has starch, it's more starchy. There's more ingredients to make it more fatty. So that's the reason why the white looks like that. All right, let's keep going. I'd love to know if you've got any questions. Give me a thumbs up as well on this. Let me know you're entertained, if you're interested in how to do it. If you've got any questions and I see them pop up, I will absolutely. Just looking on the thing to see if there's anything in the chat. All right, let's continue. All right. So for anyone who's just joining, I am slicing vegan ham. Nice, big, roasted, delicious vegan ham. Not sure what I did, but can't seem to see the okay, well, hopefully you can see it good enough. My flash seems to have disappeared and I don't know why. All right. I'm going to keep going with what I've got. This is what the ham looks like here. And for those naysayers who say, why do vegans want something that looks like ham, that isn't ham? I was not always a vegan. I remember what it was like to eat ham. I remember my mum making me ham and cheese sandwiches. We grew up with a lot of financial challenges, and ham was always fairly cheap. Ham deli slices in the prepackaged area of the store was cheap. So being able to have like ham slices, chicken slices, etc. in my sandwiches for school, man, and then like having like some ham at Christmas time, or I didn't have Thanksgiving in the UK, but just any time like that where it's like a nice family gathering, having some options, having some choice is really nice. And I don't see why people who are not vegans are so bothered about the choices that vegans make. I know that there are some kind of really zealous vegans who kind of go for people. Oh, vegan life is the right life. That's not me. I've got to be honest here. If I've got friends coming over who eat meat, I give them two choices. I don't have, I don't enforce veganism on anyone. And so it's always funny to me when people are in my comments, which has been happening more and more in the last couple of weeks. I don't know, I've kind of stumbled into another new area of YouTube where there's a little bit more hate, I guess, for vegan food. But I love all the love that I get from my community, from you lot who really like my recipes and who like to see, what is possible when you don't think of the world in a binary way, Drop a like as well, please, if you're enjoying this, you're intrigued, let me know, share some love. I would appreciate that very much. And this is the ham. I'm already busting out of this container. I need another one. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. I wasn't even going to do a live today, but this is me doing a live because I wanted to slice this up and refrigerate it, freeze some of it and refrigerate it before I went to bed. So it's one less thing for me to do on a busy morning. And this just looks so good. So, all right, so somebody said, this is the problem. Vegans are chill. It's just the loud minority. You're absolutely right. And it's the loud minority who kind of spoil it for the rest. I've heard the joke, which I got to admit I've laughed at, which was, how will you know when there's a vegan? They will tell you. That is true. We do be telling. So your question of what is it made from? All right, I got tons of seasonings. My seasoning mix is what makes it taste hammy, smoky, yummy. And I do share that. If you look at the first video on my channel, which is the Rose's Game Changer Ham, that one does explain, like in the description, I've made a Google Doc that has all of the ingredients and everything that you can get to do it. But the primary ingredient that makes it like the texture like meat is vital wheat gluten. It is a flour that you can buy. Let me see if I can show you. Hold on, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, here it is. This is it. Vital wheat gluten. It's basically a flour which is pure protein, the protein part from wheat. So it's basically gluten, concentrated gluten, and it's high in protein. So that's basically what makes it like meat. And then what gives my ham a bit of a difference from some others is I make a very unique starchy membrane that creates that pull that you see on the ham. Let me see if I can show you again. Let me show you on this one. So if you look here, that pull, which is reminiscent of how ham pulls when you see that white part there, that is from something I call my starchy membrane. It's a recipe that I came up with that primarily uses Vietnamese rice sheets, and tapioca flour, because that helps with the stringiness. And there's other bits that I use in there that actually help with creating something that feels like, that hammy texture. So yeah, that's what really gives it that difference. And there's a lady who has a tree. I don't know if you've ever heard of an ackee tree, but ackee, which is spelled Ackee, is a vegan vegetable, fruit, arguably a fruit, but not sweet. It's savory. It's mainly in Jamaica. It's the national food of Jamaica, and my family are from Jamaica. And there's a lady here who has a tree. And I can't, but in England, we would buy ackee in the can, and it's like, it's expensive. But there's a lady who actually, I think it was about 12 years ago, start to grow her tree, 12, maybe 15 years ago. And so she has regularly got ackee. And she's a lovely lady, and we have this exchange deal. So I will give her my vegan fare, and she'll give me ackee. And it reminds me of home. I was back in England a few months ago for a month to visit my parents and my family, and the deliciousness of my mum making me ackee. And we didn't obviously I'm vegan, so I'm not gonna have it with saltfish, but it would be ackee. She'd cook it up with some onions and garlic, and then she'd do cabbage, and she does this amazing sweated, gently steamed cabbage with like some peppers and onions. And she does, oh man, I'm telling you, like I could have eaten that every single day. And when I came home, because I actually brought a little bit of it home, and I ate some of it on the plane, and I was gently eating it because I didn't want it to run out, because it was what my mum made me. But now I'm kind of jonesing for it. So I think I'm gonna do an exchange for some of this ham so I can get some ackee. And let me tell you something, this is amazing on pizza. Oof. Put this in carbonara. You could do so much with this. I think the real beauty of the way that I cook, or the things that I cook, is just how versatile they are. Like, for example, the beef. That one beef recipe makes beef burgers. It makes like, you can grind it up and it makes ground beef, vegan beef. All of this is vegan, so like ground meat. You can have it in strips, in stir fries, or whatever. You can put it in pies. I blended it up and put it into Jamaican patties, which is, such a nostalgic flavor. Oh man, so good. But like, even just the recipes that you can do from ham, beef, my vegan chicken, there's hundreds, even potentially thousands of different recipes that you can make just with those three. So if you make a big enough portion once a month, once every 2 months, you'll never run out of meat, and you'll always have something that gives you that meaty texture, that little bite that you're looking for, the flavor that you're looking for, so you're not just eating tofu all the time. But it's just such a nice flavor. And I'll tell you what, when you actually go to reheat this, you can eat it cold because, of course, it's been cooked, right? Steamed. But when you go to reheat this, you can fry it, and it doesn't take long. It just takes a couple of minutes just to get it brown. You don't need to have the fire too high either. You can put it in the air fryer if you want, but if you want that lovely softness that you get from ham, or slices, deli slices, like I've done these ones a little bit thicker. But if you wanted, that kind of deli slice ham, Let me get a couple of these that are a little bit thinner. Let me show you that. And think, this is 2 kilos, right? This was almost 2 kilos, which is like, I think 60 plus ounces. I don't know how many pounds that is. I didn't calculate it, but it was huge, right? And you say something like this, and I've still got in the fridge now, one packet of Vital Wheat gluten could be, everywhere is different. Like in England, it's £3. Where I am, it's about the same, about £3, which is about $4 or $5, depending on what brand you get. But from one bag, you could make all of that, this amount of ham. You could make that. And how long would that last in your family? You save so much money, because vegan food in the shops is not only a lot, like much, much higher cost than it should be for what it is, but it's so full of chemicals. They've got so much crap in the food, and people wonder why they get sick. It's like there's certain ingredients, like for example, in most, like when I'm in the States, Trader Joe's is like tops. I love Trader Joe's, but almost every vegan meat in Trader Joe's has methyl cellulose, and it makes my heart beat fast. I mean, not in a good way. Literally, it gives me a bad reaction, and I end up feeling very unwell afterwards. There's so many different chemicals in vegan meats. It's not good for you, but you don't have to buy those. You can make it at home. Look at that. What do you think of this? Tell me in the comments. I'm looking at the comments now. But look at that. Just how lovely that is. Chewing that with some cheese, vegan cheese. Oh, melted. Carbonara on a pizza. What would you make next if you were eating that? I've got a slice of bread here. Put these little bits in a bowl. I think I'll put those on pizza. But yeah, like a delicious carbonara. Oof. Yeah, it is seitan. It is. And it does look like smoked ham. And I'll show you like I'm out of the ingredient now, but there's the smoke powder I use. Where is it? I'm looking at all my seasons. I have so much seasoning. Let's see if I can direct this so you can see. I have loads of different seasonings. And I just finished the Fumaro smoke because I was making, what did I make? I can't remember. I made something on the week. Oh, it was this, that I made on the weekend. All right, so your question is, how long will this last for? However long you eat it. In terms of how long it lasts as a product, as long as you keep it refrigerated. If I put this in the refrigerator 2 weeks, in the refrigerator, not even in the freezer, just in the refrigerator 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks if you put it in the coldest part of your refrigerator and you have a good refrigerator and you keep it sealed, easily 2-3 weeks. What I would normally do though is, like, now I've sliced this, you don't have to slice it. You can actually just keep the big slab and put it in the freezer, which is what I do. I'll make big portions of it and then put it in the freezer. And then every week, just take one out overnight and then start slicing it in the morning. And then that will be for that week. So I'll just slice up what I need. But this amount that I've made here, I think I used 2 bags of the flour, what did I put it now? Here, the Vital Wheat gluten. I use 2 bags of that to make this, and like I showed you earlier on, those of you who have not seen it, I'll answer that question just 1 second, but I'll just show you this. Those of you who had not seen it, all of this is more ham that I just haven't made yet. This is going to sit in my fridge for like a week from the time I did it till the time I start processing it again. And this is the white part. So you see here on the ham, the parts that are white, that's this. And then the parts that are pink is this. So I haven't mixed all of this together. This is going to make another probably 4 kilos, 5 kilos, maybe. Yeah, maybe a little bit more of ham. And that was from 2 packets of the Vital Wheat gluten. I'm sure it's 2 packets, maximum 2.5 that I use. Your question, is it good for everyday eating? Yes, it is. My husband has this every morning with vegan omelette. If you look on my channel, you'll see the vegan omelette recipe. So he'll have this with vegan omelette every morning, with grilled tomatoes, grilled mushrooms, plantains for the sweetness, and some sourdough bread. We buy this lovely brown multi-grain sourdough bread. And what else? I think that's it. Yeah. So he'll have this with that. And he has the exact same breakfast every morning. My husband gets bored of eating the same food every day. He won't eat the same lunch every day, but breakfast every single day, he wants this. So yeah, you can eat it every day. And remember, it's got protein in it. And what I did with this recipe was I tried to balance having protein, fiber, different sources of protein. So it's got chickpea flour, it's got cassava flour. Let me see if I can show you a packet of that. Cassava flour is really great. I mean, I'm in Indonesia, I'm in Bali, right? So this isn't something that this brand isn't something you would probably find on Amazon, but you can get cassava flour. It is gluten-free. Obviously, this is gluten, so it's not for that purpose, but the purpose of this is for the benefits of it. So it's made with cassava, and it is phenomenal for, the fiber element. I really, really love to use it. It's a great product to use. So I use that. I use the chickpea flour. I use pink salt, paprika, garlic powder, all kinds of different things inside of it. And it really, really creates a smoky flavor that it really is akin to smoked ham. Now, this one is not, I haven't baked this one with the glaze, right? Normally, the ones that I've shown you in the past on my channel include the glaze. So I would actually bake it in the oven with the glaze on, and then it comes out on the outside. It's brown. It's got a lovely rim. Oh, so good. This one, I didn't do that. I just literally sliced it. I let it steam and then let it cool down this afternoon. And then now I'm just slicing it. So this is the only reason why this one isn't kind of maybe even as firm as well. But the glaze is just incredible when you have that. And you can have it with or without the glaze. It's all delicious, all the same. And then your question, is it washed flour? I can't do washed flour. This doesn't agree with me. It just doesn't agree with me. I tried it. I'm really good with the Vital Wheat gluten product that is already in a flour consistency. That's just easier for me. I just don't use the wash the flour version. This just goes straight in along with all my seasonings, and I'm good to go. Now, this is how I was saying earlier on for those who didn't hear it, but what I'll do is I'll just sit down and put six containers up, and I will use one for the all stuff that goes in the white mixture. Just put all of them in there. And then for the pink one, all the stuff that's dry that goes in there, and I'll just do that, and then I'll forget about it. And then when I need to make this next time, it's quicker for me to make it next time because I've got everything ready. It's just ready to go. So in terms of getting the recipe, if you go to the first video on my channel that was ever put on my channel, it's called The Game Changer Ham. In the description, I've made a Google Doc that has all of the ingredients. I have not charged any money for this. I want y'all to have the enjoyment of making and eating something like this. I know that there are a lot of vegan meat and vegan food forums that will they make meat as part of their business, and I know some people have businesses who are on my channel and will use my recipes in their business. I don't care. I want you to do it. I want people to realize that it's possible to have really great vegan food without having to spend an inordinate amount of money for it. Yes, my seasonings, because I have a lot of different seasonings, it costs to get them. But once you've got them, garlic powder, salt, paprika, smoke powder, which is like a huge reason why it actually smells as great as it does and how it tastes as great as it does. Mushroom powder, I will do all of this without MSG. What I used to do is use butter. My first video is like I interlace it with butter throughout. So what would happen is you would get like these lovely globs of fat. Oh, drool. But we're trying to keep our butter intake, or my hubby's trying to keep his butter and oil intake a little bit lower. So I don't do that anymore. But I still do the other stuff that makes the starchy membrane. And it just comes out really incredible. It's just great stuff, you know? And it's such a pleasure for me to know that people around the world are learning this, watching this. I know when I was learning to use seitan, essentially vital wheat gluten, when I was learning to use it, it was like, for me, it was always coming out really tough. So for me, this is kind of like a fun science for which I'm really proud, you know, that I can make something that is vegan, that tastes like ham or beef or chicken, that has a texture that is reminiscent of what I missed for food. It's a beautiful thing. And in terms of how long it lasts, if you put it in the freezer, 3 months easily, maybe 4. As long as it doesn't get burned, you know, it's really good. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Potato Man. I think I'm saying that right. I'm really glad that you've enjoyed it. But when I was learning about making vegan meats, I just like during the pandemic, I watched so many videos. And for me, I always wanted to see, like, there would always be that scene when they show, oh, look at this. And then they'll show it really quickly and then that's it. And the reason I do these videos showing me slicing and pulling it apart is because I know myself, I want to figure out how something works in order for me to be able to be confident to do it. And that's why I do these videos, to show you what it's like to do. When I first started making vegan meat with vital wheat gluten was, I think, 2017, and I'm telling you, the flavor was phenomenal, but the texture, man, the texture was like, it was you had to slice it real thin to, you know, so that it would be edible. But now I can also kind of almost feel like I could say I'm a little bit of a master at this. I'm not a master at wash the flour. I can't do wash the flour. I haven't mastered that. And also, where I live, I live in Bali, Indonesia, right? So here you can't use tap water to eat with. You have to use bottled water. So I have like, my bottled water is like 19 liters, which is like, I think 3.5 gallons, maybe three and a half gallons, whatever it is, to you know, the big bottles that you get in the office. So that's what I use in the kitchen for all of my food prep, etc. So for me, using the wash the flour method is just like a lot more arduous than is necessary, because you cannot use the tap water. It's not safe to drink. And when I tried it, even with the mineral water, which is essentially what I use, it's not that expensive. That's not the issue. It's just hassle. But when I used the mineral water, what I found was that most of it went down the drain. What was left over was the starch. And then I used that with vital wheat gluten, which I was more used to using, and I combined it, and I was like, whoa, this is amazing. I know I'd only made a really small one. And my hubby tested it, and he was like, this is incredible, you've got to make this again. And I was like, I will make it again, but I'm not making it with wash the flour, because that was like 2 days of work for no reason. Or like a day's worth of work, whatever it was at the time, for no reason. But with the use of the Vital Wheat gluten, and I always have it in my kitchen, because it's possible that the suppliers could run out, and I never want to be in a zone to make food and then not have it available. But it's really great to have. And even the simplest things that you can do, like for example, my for my vegan chicken mix, I also have like my vegan chicken mix together, which is like, what do I put in it? Chickpea flour, nutritional yeast, pink salt, garlic powder, mushroom powder, etc. All I need to do is take out a few scoops of this, or like the next time I make chicken, I'll use all of this. I've used half of this for the batch that I've got now, and that will do like enough chicken for a week easily to eat every day for a week. But I would just basically scoop that out and then put it with a few cups of the Vital Wheat gluten, some oil. A very important ingredient when you make anything with Vital Wheat gluten is apple cider vinegar with the mother. That cuts the bready flavor, the texture, the bready texture. And then also another really important thing is to cook it on low. Too many times, I think that was where I went wrong. I cooked it on a higher heat than was necessary. You cannot cook this on a high heat. Keep it on a lovely low, just barely bubbling simmer, and just keep it covered and allow it to steam. So on my original video, I talk about doing a ham bath and cooking it in liquid. However, for those of you who don't really want to go that route, I would definitely recommend what I've progressed to doing, which is just to steam it. And then once you allow it to cool down, don't slice it while it's still hot. Allow it to cool down, then apply the glaze, put it in the oven, turn it over until it gets sticky. And I'm making myself hungry just thinking about it, to be honest. But yeah, this is amazing. Like, you can make vegan carbonara, you can make, do sandwiches, you can, you can do anything. You can have this in any way. Have it for breakfast. Lightly fry it. You do not need to overly fry it. It's already cooked. You just want to get a little color on it. That's fine. Just spray it a little bit. You put it in the air fryer. My recommendation is to put it on like 140 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is Fahrenheit. I'm sorry. You'll have to convert that. I'll have to get like a little chart and put it on the wall so I can always say, because I know a lot of you guys are in America and Canada. But I put it on like 140 degrees Celsius and spray it with a little bit of oil. And I just put it on for like 3 minutes, and that's it. And it's enough. You don't need it to be overly cooked. If you put it on a high heat really fast, it can become chewy. You don't want it to do that. So you just want it to be gently reheated to get the brown on there, if that's what you want. If not, you just have it how it is. I'll just show those of you who are new to the chat. Throw a like in the chat if you've enjoyed so far. It is now, I know it's 11:30 in the States in the morning to you, but it's 11:30 in the night to me. So I'm getting ready to go to bed. I just wanted to kind of slice this up before bed and decided to jump on a live. And I'm so happy I did, because there's so many of you who jumped in. I saw like we had like 20 odd people at one point, and I'm always excited to share this stuff with you. Look at that. That is exactly how I remember ham behaving. And imagine having that for less than $10. Made at home. Yes, you have to put in a little bit of time, but once you make it, like this amount here, this is easily like 2 weeks plus, because they're big slices. So this is 2 weeks plus, I think, unless hubby just wants to eat it extra because he knows it's here. I'll put some on pizzas. I might put some in some pasta. I've done some macaroni cheese. So what I might do is make a little bit more of a cheese sauce and then put some more pieces on top of the existing macaroni cheese, and then just kind of like melt it in. Oh my gosh, that's going to be so good. But you can put it in salads. There's so much you can do with it. It's just so versatile. And remember, I'm going to be putting up the video, the beef video, which includes ground beef, the most amazing ground beef, no walnuts, no nuts. It's going to have the ground beef, the beef strips, beef burgers, and some other stuff but from one recipe, it's got so many different uses, depending on how you process it once you've put the dough together. So I'm working on that editing project at the moment, and I'll put it on the channel soon. The vegan chicken, I've got a couple of lives. If you go on my channel and you click on the lives, if you've got some time, these are times where I'm just meandering in the kitchen and just cooking stuff and doing my food preps. And there's always some really good gems in there. I'm showing you things that I'm doing all simultaneously. But you go onto my channel and then you'll see like videos, shorts, and then you'll see lives. So click lives and then you can see some of the things I've done, but I've shown some chicken things in there before. I've got a chicken video that I'm also got in the chamber to edit. And I will be editing that and putting that out as well. But can you let me know what you'd be interested in me making, what you're kind of craving, what you've been wanting, but you've kind of given up on the idea of because, you know, you're a vegan now and you can't eat that anymore. What have you been craving? What do you like the idea of having that you haven't had for a while as a vegan? Let me know in the comments. If I've got some good suggestions, I might start thinking about how I can create it. The other thing that a lot of people miss is cheese, vegan cheese. I have an incredible vegan cheese recipe. I have a vegan cheese sauce recipe, which I use for like lasagnas and macaroni cheese. And then I also have like a cheese recipe that you can put in the fridge, and every day the flavor gets stronger and stronger, more cheesy. So the longer it's left to sit, the more it develops flavor. And every day it goes from like a soft cheese flavor, like, you know, Dairy Lee or Baby Bell, something like that. And it will get progressively better. The problem is you'll never let it sit in the fridge long enough because you'll eat it. So you always got to make a big enough batch, but it's really easy to make. Let me know in the chat. Do you want to see me make cheese? I think I've got all the ingredients I need. 1, 2. Yeah, I think I've got the ingredients. Now let me know in the chat. I'm going to give you 25 seconds. 20 seconds. If you let me know in the chat if you want to see a cheese recipe, then I will quickly show you a very, very quick cheese recipe that you could put together at home. So I'm giving you 10 more seconds. Let me know in the chat. And if not, I'm going to be doing the cheese recipe anyway, but I just won't do it right this second. So this is going to be dealer's choice. If you want me to do the cheese recipe, you got to let me know. And if not, that's okay too. I'll just have to let you see it another time. All right, so it looks like I'm going to get to go to bed because nobody said anything in the chat. Yep, there we go. All right. So let me finish slicing up this bread so I can put that in the fridge. You can see the ham is all sliced now and looks fantastic. I want to get this all sliced up and then put in the fridge so it's ready in the morning. And it is a really lovely loaf. It is sourdough bread. Multi-grain sourdough wholemeal bread. And I took it, I buy like 3 or 4 of them at a time and then put them in the freezer. And for those of you who are watching the replay of this eventually, let me know in the chat anyway what you're missing, and I will kind of percolate on recipes to do stuff. Sometimes I'm kind of like lying in bed and like I'm mentally going through all the different ingredients to make something. I'm like, if I mix that with that, then I can put that with that, then that should give this a flavor or this texture or whatever. And I like it when I get into that zone because I get really creative from a food perspective. But I've been cooking since I was like 7 years old. Not always fantastically, I must say. I've burnt a few things. But from I was about, I would say probably, 7 years old, I think I would make like sugar cookies. And I was in like, I would go to home economics. My mum taught me some things how to cook as well. My family, most everybody can cook in my family. My dad cooks, my mum cooks. So yeah, I've always kind of been predisposed to cooking. Funnily enough, I did talk to my mum the other day and I was like, when did I learn to bake? Where did I learn that? Because I just didn't have any childhood memories of my mum baking anything, like at all, nothing. She'd make lunches and dinner, but not bake. And she was like, no, I never baked. She said to me, she never really learned to bake, which is really fun because I bake so much stuff. I'll make pastry from scratch, patties from scratch, apple pies and all that stuff. And I make a mean cake. Hubby and I just finished some carrot cake I made a couple of weeks ago. And I'm telling you, I'm already jonesing for more cake. And I've already started the process of making a cake. I soaked some currants. Let me show you. I buy currants. Oh, here we go. Right, I buy raisins, sultanas, cranberries, cranberries. They're really juicy. They are not covered in sugar or anything like that. They're just natural. And I buy them all together and then I basically mix them. And this was completely full, but I'm going to eat those. Yum. I buy them, mix them up, and then I eat them as a snack, but I also use them to make cake. And I've got some, I'll show you. Hang on, let me get it. Right, so what I've got here is those same mix along with some rum essence. And I've also got Chinese spice. And I can't remember if I put nutmeg in there, but I definitely have got Chinese spice in there. And I think I put a little bit of cloves in there as well. So I've got all of those together with some water in this. And I'm going to make a delicious fruit cake. Yummy, yummy fruit cake. Look how, see like the water's kind of moving a little slowly. It's getting all syrupy, and that's from all of the flavors mixing together. That's been in there, I want to say, for about 5 days. I was only supposed to leave it there for 1 day because I was going to make the cake like really quickly, but I've just been really busy and tired, and therefore I haven't been able to do it. But that's sitting there, and I'm going to record that video when I make the fruit cake. so that you can make cakes at home yourself as well. That's another benefit to having the ability to bake. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who was saying, like, she knows I cook a lot, and I've got this really awesome girlfriends group. There's about 30 of us in there, and when I'm doing my food prep, I kind of share my pictures and my videos of what I've prepped, and they're always like, "What? Why are you doing this to us? When are we coming over?" And kind of tempting people with my food, which is pretty common. I'm kind of mischievous as a person, so that's kind of sport for me. And yeah, I was showing her that, and she had said something like, I really wish I could cook. I would love to change that. I can't cook very well. And I just said to her, look, it doesn't matter that you can't cook very well. It just learn a really simple recipe, something really, really simple, and just master that one recipe. If you're not very good at cooking, just master one recipe. Yeah, you don't have to be perfect at everything. Perfection takes time. Just master one good recipe, something that you think you could eat often, but really super simple, you know? And that's my recommendation. If you struggle with anything, or there's something you want to be able to do, like even if you start doing this, you try to make the ham, it might work out. You might have a few stumbling blocks. I actually, in the original video, in the comments, I think it's a pinned comment, and probably also in the Google Doc, I included a load of different tips, things to look out for, things to avoid, what to do if something happens that goes kind of awry when you're making it. I included all of that in the video, and I strongly recommend you watch that. Read those tips before you make it, so that it'll be easier for you. But cooking is funny. Just take your time, learn different things. Don't give up very easily. Give yourself some grace when you're not doing so well, and just try your best. And for me, I think if you get the flavor right, if you can get the flavor right, that's the biggest first step. For me, my recipes focus on texture, flavor, and how it looks. Those are the three things that are important to me, so I always try to make sure I perfect those things. And of course it has to be healthy, but those things are really, really important for me anyway. And when I look at things like that, that is vegan ham. This is not real ham. But if we can make something like this at home without having to buy from Beyond Burger, Beyond Meat, some of the store brands, they're just not good for you. They're full of chemicals. They're really not good for you. But if we can make this at home and look at this bit here. I want you to see how that looks, because this is very indicative of ham. See that white membrane? I remember that on ham. I haven't eaten ham for 20 years. Gosh, has it been that long? It really has. Almost, yeah. I think I became a vegetarian in 2003. My husband's really good for remembering these dates. I'm not always as good, but 2003, I became a vegan. I don't know what month that was. And sorry, a vegetarian. And then vegan was 2009. So basically 2008, around November was the last time I ate fish. So that's 2008. So you can do the math from there. And that's how long I've been vegan. It was 2009 I went to a health retreat at the end of 2008. And I think I can honestly say that health retreat saved my life. Like, I was dreaming of my funeral and everything. It was like I was not in a good place health-wise. And I went on that health retreat for almost a month. I lost 14 pounds, and that's like a stone in English weight. And I had came back so healthy. I watched so many videos about veganism and different things that I could do, and I just came back and I ate so much, but I did it in the way that they said. I basically walked for 2 hours a day, and I didn't eat late in the night. And I actually, to this day, both hubby and I, the way that we eat, we have he'll have like a cooked breakfast. I'm a bit funny with food because sometimes I'll eat and sometimes I don't really want to, but I have to force myself to. But typically we'll have something cooked or warm in the morning for breakfast, and then in the afternoon is when we eat lunch, and we don't really eat dinner. We hubby in the evening, he'll have cereal. We might have a snack. So like if I feel peckish, I'll make like some popcorn, homemade popcorn, not in the microwave version, but just like on the skillet. And sometimes like I might have, what did I have tonight? Oh, I didn't have anything. I couldn't figure out what I wanted, so I didn't have anything. But like maybe cereal or something simple in the evening, nothing heavy. Have a drink, maybe have some fruit, maybe have some chickpea cakes, like rice cakes kind of thing. But that's it. Maybe some tortilla chips. There's a really great place that makes tortilla chips from scratch here, so I get those. And for me, that's pretty much what we eat, how we manage our food. Don't really eat anything in the nighttime, nothing heavy anyway. But yeah, when I went on that health retreat and just learned so much, I came back and I was just like, no, I think I can just cut out fish because it's the last thing that I needed to cut out, that and cheese. And I'll tell you, I will honestly say, I did have a few slip ups over the years with cheese, but anytime I slipped up, it's hard to get back out of it. So I haven't eaten cheese now for years. I'm really happy with that. And I make my own vegan cheese alternative. So that's really been pretty amazing for me to at least have something that tastes a little bit like cheese. I'll just tell you what goes into my cheese. It's nutritional, like this is ham. So who wouldn't want to have ham and cheese, right? So it's nutritional yeast. Let me get the other things. Hang on. All right, so white miso paste, that gives a cheesy flavor, especially when you mix it with nutritional yeast. These two are a power couple for creating a cheesy flavor. Then we use, I know this is not in English, but this is essentially coconut cream. And that gives the thick flavor. And then also coconut oil. Doesn't really matter what brand that you use, but basically coconut oil. So this is what gives you the fattiness with cheese. Then you've got this, which gives you the creaminess that you need. Then the miso is what helps the flavor continue to develop over multiple days. The nutritional yeast is what you get the cheese. It's high in B12, so it's very healthy, but this is what gives you the cheesy flavor. This is like a vegan parmesan, so to speak. This makes things taste that little reminiscence of cheesiness. Then I also use pink salt and also garlic powder. And you can also use like white pepper, smoke powder if you want a smoky cheese. My smoke powder is finished. I finished it on the weekend making this ham. I need to get some more. But those are like the primary ingredients of my cheese recipe. And depending on how you make it, like there's one way I can make it where it becomes really thick. Like you can use also agar. I've just started buying this agar, this the fresh one, which is like you just have to dissolve it in water for 10 minutes in hot water on the stove. And there's also like a powdered version, but there's also another product. Crumbs, what's it called? Have I still got it? No, I haven't got it. I can't remember. I haven't used it for a long time now. But there's another natural product, carrageenan. Carrageenan. I can't remember the full name of it. But carrageenan also helps with thickness. So if you wanted to have a cheese that becomes a block, carrageenan is good. I've never found agar to become completely stiff, but the carrageenan did, and I think that that's a good one to have. Some people complain about it for other reasons, whatever. People are going to complain about things. But that's a good option. And even if you don't use the carrageenan, you can use the nutritional yeast and the other things I've just shown you. And if you put that on top of a pizza, it is literally so melty. And you use it in like on lasagna or macaroni cheese, whatever. If you want it to be more thin, so you've got like more of it to go around, you just use more of the coconut milk, more of the nutritional yeast, more of the miso paste. Like if I'm going to make macaroni cheese or lasagna, like I'll make enough cheese sauce. Oh, I just realized I've actually got some cheese sauce that I made last week in the fridge. I'm going to get it for you. But like I would use a whole one of this. It's 100 grams. So I would use a whole one of that if I want to make a lot. Let me get what I've got in the fridge and see if I can show you. Hang on. Okay, forgive me here. This is not, I didn't do this to present it to you, but I'll just show you what it looks like. So this is like my cheese sauce that became a little bit combined. Let's get some on a plate to show you. All right, get rid of that. Put that there. Put this here. Put that here. Give you something cute to look at. All right, so let me get a spoon and get some of this cheese out. And this is what it looks like. So it's kind of like a soft-ish cheese, but if I apply heat to this, it will melt. And so that this is really great for putting on a pizza. Let me taste it because it's been a week, so it's going to have a really good flavor. The smell of it is really cheesy. It actually smells like cheese. You got a lot of the smell of the miso. How do I express this? It's like Dairy. I know you don't have this in the States, but I don't know if you have it in the States, but yeah, it's like Dairy. It's just like a soft cheese, but it's not like a nice block of yellow cheddar cheese, which is a completely different recipe than what I've got here. This is just what I had left over from making macaroni cheese. But yeah, pretty good. All right, so I think I'm almost done with tonight's live. Well, today's live. I hadn't intended to do a live today, but I hope you've enjoyed watching me slice this vegan ham. Hope it inspires you and it's interesting. There's so many different things you can do with it. Carbonara, anything you can see with a ham recipe that meat eaters eat, you can eat it too, just with vegan ham. I hope you've enjoyed the live. And I hope that you'll give it a chance to make it yourself. Oh, so good. And I really appreciate you watching. Please remember to like, this stream. It will really help me out. It's a new channel-ish. It's like a year old. So all the likes, comments, and feedback from you is all really helpful. I answer all of my comments. So please make sure to comment if you're catching this on the replay. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope that you made it through the whole video. And I'm just so excited to be able to share these things with you all. And I hope it inspires you. I hope that you get a new mentality and new ideas about how it is to be a vegan and the different things that you can do. A lot of the time people say, I can't be vegan, I can't go without meat. But if your doctor says you need to go without meat, or you realize you want to adopt a different lifestyle, there are things that you can do and you can affordably do so. This is a lot cheaper than meat. This is $10, $15 worth of ingredients, and this is going to make enough ham for 2 months. That's phenomenal in my opinion. If you don't have a lot of the ingredients already, okay, buy the ingredients. It's going to be $30 maybe. I don't know how much it's going to cost where you are. But once you've got them, you can use them for ham, beef, for chicken. And once you make batches of them, you'll never run out of meat in your house. And it's cheap. It's cheap to make. Once you've made it, you've got your repertoire, you start experiencing, learning, making it. It becomes so much easier. This is so easy to do, and you can feed your family very, very happily. Like I say, this is 2 weeks worth of ham, maybe a little bit more, depending on how much my hubby eats every day. And this was only one of them, and I've still got enough to make another 3 to 4. It's really, really affordable, and it's really delicious. And I hope that you will give it a try. Check the video on my channel, the very first video. So you go to my channel, click videos, and then scroll to the very bottom. Or you might actually, on my channel, it's the first video you'll see. It's actually straight there at the top, where it shows you the vegan ham. That's the full recipe. Check the comments. There's people who've made it and have really, really loved it. And also I provided a Google Doc that explains, that gives the recipe so you can print it out, and also gives some tips. I think in the pinned comment on that video, you'll see some tips that are really worth reading before you go about making it yourself, so you are prepared for what you need to do and the different nuances. But I really hope you enjoyed today. I hope that the ham has inspired you, made you drool a little bit. I hope you enjoy my food porn, and I really hope you'll continue to subscribe to my channel, share your thoughts with me, let me know what you want me to cook, and I'll figure out a really great recipe that's unique to me and the way that my brain works to create it. And I'm just grateful for you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to log off now, but I will be putting this live on my channel straight away. So give me a couple of minutes. If you haven't watched it from the beginning, you'll be able to watch it. I'll go ahead and make it live in a couple of minutes. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Stay delicious. I appreciate you, and it's such a pleasure to be able to share these things with you. And I hope that you have a wonderful, absolutely wonderful day, morning, afternoon, evening, no matter where you are. And if you're on the replay, love you loads. Thank you so much. And I hope that you have a great day. Take care, and bye-bye for now. Bye.